I really want to make a video trying to like clarify and highlight Emerson Non-Duality's teachings. That's kind of hard to say. But yeah, Emerson's teachings. Like, and before I start this video, I should say like Emerson is the man to me. I love Emerson. I recommend Emerson to everyone. Him and David are the only two non-dual teachers that I have in my resources section on my channel. They're the only two teachers I recommend to people, and I think they're the best. Like they're the first two teachers in the world that I know of that like really adopted the one-on-one format. They really left like that retreat paradigm. They moved on to the one-on-one format, and they have repeated recorded footage of them leading people to self-realization. Whereas a lot of these famous teachers, well, all of the famous teachers except for David and Emerson, don't seem to have any videos of them leading people to the end of seeking. So my intention in making this is really just to highlight the simple beauty of his teachings and to add additional clarity and frameworking on it, because I don't think most of the people that are listening to his teachings really have any idea what's going on. Like, I don't think, and because he never gets into like any of like the conceptual frameworking of it. And I understand why he doesn't do that, because like, in a way, it's not really necessary. Like, if you can just go to know mind, like, that is always kind of the answer, because the answer is not on the conceptual plane. The answer is in transcending the concepts. But at the same time, like, you don't have to just go to not knowing or like not understanding. Like, you can know how all of this works and still authentically do it. And I think having that knowledge would be really powerful and important for people, because it would help people to actually empower themselves to fully understand this. They wouldn't have to just keep watching the videos. They would feel like they understand on a mechanical, like primordial level, what Emerson or David or any like legitimate spiritual teaching, like what is actually happening, like what are they doing? And so that's my intention to try and explain with Emerson, because Emerson is like the Zen master. Like, what he does is it's just Zen koans, and like those are just like the most famous one. It's like the Zen riddles that are meant to like shut off the mind. So the most famous one is that thing about like the sound of clapping one hand. But the thing is with that one, like, it really doesn't, like, it's meant to shut off the mind, but with most people, they're not authentically going to go to the experience of no mind mode when they hear that riddle. But when Emerson asks, like, what's in between this or that, or what are you without past or future, that's actually the exact same thing. That's no different. The only thing that makes Emerson so much stronger is, well, firstly, because Emerson is authentically able to go there, so he has the clarity to spot even when people are subtly getting pulled into that. And then also because he's doing it in the one-on-one format. It's like he's holding you under the fire. He's not actually rough. He's actually really gentle and loving. But he just keeps repeatedly redirecting you back to that no mind mode over and over and over again. And that's what's happening. And the reason that's effective and that creates like, release and resolution and like you feel better and that kind of thing is because the root of all resistance begins in the mind. The root of all emotional repression begins in the mind. Like, it's caused by subtle mental resistance. And so that's why sometimes you'll have like big emotional releases or like energetic releases, or like you just start to feel better. It's because when you disengage from these conceptual frameworks, like this personalization of your experience, you're getting at the subtle roots of suffering, the subtle roots of resistance and of like inauthenticity and of stagnation and of all that stuff. And so when you really authentically get at those, like, your energy begins flowing again and things resolve and refine and they get better. But I think a lot of people are having an experience where they don't actually understand like why that's all working, and they don't understand the kosha system that David talks about. So they're not really able to understand what's even going on when they watch Emerson's videos, or they get stuck in the other side of it where they actually just kind of think like, all concepts are bad. Like, or they just think that like it's just always about, I think some people, not all people, because Emerson is really very clear and like direct, but I definitely think some people can get trapped in this thing of where they're kind of just using it to bypass. Like, they're not really getting at the roots of suffering. They're basically just like, watching the videos and then they get some temporary relief, but then when their life goes on, like nothing is really progressing or refining because they're not really getting at those primordial structures. But it's all about like, that's why David's book is called Effortless Being. Like it's about it's about being fully effortless to the present moment. And that means like withdrawing those extremely subtle mental structures. But so when Emerson asks people the what's in between questions, that's all he's doing. He's just taking people to no mind mode. It's not like some people think that like depending on what answer they give, like that depends, like he's dissecting you or something and then like figuring out, like they think that he's doing something very complicated or something that like you wouldn't be able to figure out what he's doing. But it's actually the most simple thing in the world. He's basically just over and over giving your mind an unanswerable question, and then because you can't come up with an answer for it, it just stops you dead in your tracks. And so you stop, even if it's temporary, you stop consenting to these mental patterns for at least in the moment, and then that has some effect, and then that's when you feel some relief. And like it's if you're gonna have a direct one-on-one with him, it's gonna be even more directly palpable probably, because I mean when you're one-on-one with someone, like you can't really just ignore it or like disassociate in the way that you could like listening to a video or something. But so that's all that's happening. It's really extremely simple. Like when he asks like what are you without past or future, that's again the exact same thing. It's just an unanswerable question by the mind. So it's taking you to no mind mode, and then from no mind mode, when you're able to authentically be in that, that's the end of suffering. Because the root of all resistance is in the subtle mental structures. The most gross form of mental structures is words and belief systems, but it goes on even subtler levels. Like that's why like you don't really have to be voicing a belief for there to just kind of be like a subconscious belief structure in your mental structure. But the less that you consent to feeding these patterns and you recognize them, and you start to recognize how the invitations work, like that's a really big thing for Emerson listeners. Like they really need to understand that, like what David talks about, the invitations, like everything the mind sends you is just an invitation. And when you understand that it's an invitation, you learn how to decline these things. You learn how to stop getting pulled into the mind. But the key is, it's not actually about like declining it, like pushing it away or pulling it away. It's just being completely neutral to it. It's just not resisting it. It's like if you have some type of like challenging emotion or challenging situation show up, you don't try to react to it and like resist it and like fight it or anything. Like when you can just be truly impersonal and neutral to the situation, that's how you withdraw that resistance, and that's how the problem resolves. And that's also being more in the present moment. That's why like Emerson says like the past always deals in or the mind always deals in past or future, because that's what it does. It deals, and the thing is too, you don't have to get rid of the mind. Like this is not about getting rid of the mind. It would not be good to not have thoughts or words. Like every word you can use is the mind. That's all mental structure. So you want to have the mind. You just don't want to be ruled by the mind. You don't want to be ruled by the unconscious low frequency patterns of the mind. And you don't want to be stuck in cycles of suffering. But like when you really, really get clear on this, you can just stop consenting to those subtle mental resistances. And then you also don't need to perpetually watch the videos. Like if it feels inspiring to do that, that's great. Like that's why, like, even though I understand this stuff, I still watch videos like that all the time because I love them. Like it's exciting for me. Like I feel great watching them. Like it's not coming from a place of seeking or anything. Like this is just my pride and joy. And if you feel that way, like when you're watching the videos, that's great. But if you feel like you're just seeking or something, like you just feel like you're trying to soothe your wounds or get some kind of temporary resolution, there's something you're missing here. Like you should, like this is actually extremely simple. You just have to actually do it. You have to authentically go to that impersonal, effortless being, that no mind mode, that just pause of the mind and just being with the present moment fully and wholly. And that's the end of suffering. That's how you get to the causal body. And from the causal body, you really don't suffer anymore. That's how you reclaim your energetic investment in the dualistic realm, and like what David would call the dualistic central server. You stop feeding your energy to the things which are draining your energy, and all of your energy is just basically staying with you, and then it's naturally and effortlessly flowing towards resolution and peace and joy and bliss. And that's the return to the Garden of Eden. Like, that's what it can really, really be. But it's so much more simple than people are thinking. Like, they're completely, like, overcomplicating, I think, what he's talking about. Like, it's extremely simple. Like, it's just the thing is, this is what I talked about in my last video, like the miracle mechanism video, is that just because it's effortless doesn't mean it's easy. Like, this is actually the hardest thing in the world. If you want to resolve your deepest pains and wounds and fears and stagnations in your life, you have to face your deepest, biggest challenges. But what that means, it doesn't mean fighting it or resisting it, because that's what you've been doing your whole life, subconsciously and unconsciously, just like repeating like reaction and fear patterns and that kind of thing. But when you can be really, really neutral to these things, and you can stop like flinching and looking away from them or trying to push or pull from them, and you can just really be with the present moment as it is and just go to that in-between state. Like, what's in between this and that? That's the causal body. That's the body of wisdom. That's effortless being. And that's where the answer to every problem lies, because the answer is not in the conceptualness. That's why Emerson's answer to every question is not, he doesn't give you concepts. He points you to non-conceptualness, because that's the primordial mechanism. And he sees that. He sees that really clearly. He's not explaining this underlying structure, but that's why he just keeps relentlessly pointing people back to this mechanism, because if you can get at that and you can stop feeding these subtle mental resistance patterns, that will end all of your suffering. And then all of your energy will spiral upwards. Your emotions will begin flowing again. They will purify and refine and release and open up. Your physical body will open up, and you'll manifest physical circumstances and situations that reflect that, and your entire life can just become a subtle divine dance. It can become beautiful and amazing. But the key is, for that to happen, you have to give up trying to make that happen. You have to stop trying to force it and stop trying to personalize and resist life. And you have to stop consenting to the idea that you're on like a healing journey or something. Like, when you're consenting to this idea that you're not there yet, you're going to be on that continuous cycle of not being there yet. Or when you're consenting to the idea that you need to like keep watching more videos or something, you're disempowering yourself. Like, you are a sovereign being, and whatever you consent to, even if it's on a subconscious level, that's what you're gonna experience and keep repeating. But yeah, I mean, again, it's like I said, if you want to watch the videos because it's inspiring, if it's like from the higher mind, like it's just inspiring, it's not based on fear or lack or seeking, it's just flowing through, that's great. That's good. Like, that can be really good. Like, anything like that can be good. But you have to see that difference. Like, you don't want to be reliant on teachers. You don't want to be reliant on anyone. You want to understand the primordial mechanisms of this for yourself, and then equip yourself with that, and then go into the world, live your life, be with your family, be with your friends, be with the old people that you haven't seen in years, or like go do those experiences that you've been afraid of doing because you were subconsciously resisting them. Like, go be like a child again. Like, go talk to random people. Like, be open and free and be more human. That's the thing too. Like, I think a lot of people, and I keep harping on this, but it's true. Like, a lot of people are disassociating themselves. They're like creating like phantom personas or something, like trying to be a spiritual character or something. They think this is about being less human or something. They think this is about like withdrawing from the world. This is not about that. This is about being more human. This is about filling your structure and being more you. Enlightenment, liberation is the most human thing there is. This is what humans do. Humans evolve into enlightenment. That's our underlying purpose. That's like, it's like in the same way, like the flower, like the blooming of the flower is just as much a part of like the whole structure of like the stem and like the growing process. I don't even have the language for it, but you know what I'm saying. Like, this is a part of us. Like, you wouldn't say the flower is like not the plant. Like, the flower is the plant, and enlightenment is the human. Like, enlightenment is the most human thing. And so like, yeah, like this is about being more uniquely you and being fully authentic and just allowing life to flow again. It's about just withdrawing that subtle mental resistance and then flowing with life. Um, and yeah, and so I think that could be helpful for people to see.